Good afternoon, family and friends, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to prepare what's called a watermelon basket of fruit. This dates back with me probably, well, I know exactly 40 years ago. I would make these. I made one when my second son was christened, and I did that with my children. I did christen them. And when we went back to the house after the services of the church for our baby, then we'd have a little luncheon. And I would put together little finger foods of what was called finger sandwiches back then. There were cucumber sandwiches and tuna fish sandwiches that were cut into little tiny, almost triangle squares. And they were very, very good. And we'd have anything from a pasta salad to the fruit salads. And this is a fruit salad that I will be eating the fruit afterwards. But what I want to show is how to prepare a fruit basket from a watermelon. So I picked this watermelon, and on the bottom of it, you kind of want one that has a flat surface. If you don't have it all the way flat, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it flat. So you take a knife and you just kind of come along. You don't want to cut all the way into the watermelon. You just want a little sliver taken off so that the bottom part, around here, so that the bottom part will sit on any flat surface. And that's what this one's gonna do. There, so that's a lot better, isn't it? Okay, now it won't roll around on me or do anything. Next step to take on this is if you want to be pretty accurate on it, then I suggest taking just any kind of tape. This is just a painter's tape that I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna make a handle on my basket. So I'm gonna come down halfway, and I want a pretty good size little handle. So we'll make it a couple of little strips here. All the way on the basket. That's kind of the very first step. So it looks like that. Okay? Then how much we want to take off on the side depends on how much you want to take off in the middle. But I just kind of come around like this. This particular watermelon almost looks like an egg shape. It really does. So there's the part that we're going to be working with. Then we're going to come along now. You can take any knife. You can take the bigger knife. You can take a smaller knife. And you want to come along and cut where that line is, down the middle, where the tape is. That's just your guide. And then you're going to come along here and do the same thing. You're going to come along where the tape is and cut right along that tape line. Don't worry if you're not that accurate. You can take your bigger knife and make sure that you've come all the way through the watermelon. Then get any bowl. You're going to be taking this watermelon of the pieces here. You need to put it someplace because we're going to be using this. We'll just stick it in there. Now I'm going to do the other side. Come down. Watermelons are so good in the summertime. I just love them. I really haven't been around too many people that don't like a good watermelon in the summertime. And again, you want to just take your bigger knife now and come along and make sure that that piece lifts out. And don't worry if you don't get all of it lifted out all at once. That's okay. It's all right. You can come back and clean it up. These are so fun to make. If you have kids, grandkids in my case, it's really fun to make with them. I'm sorry my granddaughter isn't here today to make this because she would really like it. Now that's that part of it. We can go ahead and take the tape off. We don't need it anymore. That was just kind of your guideline. All right. Now we're going to hollow out this part of it very carefully, because you don't want to break your basket here. Come down the middle and help it out just a little bit. You can. Said I've made these a lot over the years, and everybody just kind of seems to like them. They really do. Okay, so that's that part of it. Now we're going to take a smaller knife and, well, actually I'm going to get one more bowl here because there's a lot that's going into this watermelon. So hang on just a minute while I get one more bowl. I'm back. I went and put my apron on while I was getting my extra bowl, because you never know with me how much of a mess I'm going to make. Okay, this is the next tool that you will need. This is a little melon ball tool. One end has a smaller little hollowed out circle on it, and then the larger one. We're going to use the larger one for the watermelon. And this is so easy to do. You just kind of take it in the watermelon and go in a round circle. And that makes your little ball. And we'll go ahead and put that in a bowl. And you just make a whole bunch of these. You're just gonna get the whole watermelon where it has all these nice little balls. We will be putting all these little balls back in the watermelon. Don't worry about all leftover pieces like this. We just kind of put them in a separate bowl. This is such a fun thing. Like I said, I haven't made this in a long time, but I know that 40 years ago I made it in the basket type. I like to get the long oblong watermelons when I make that's called a watermelon boat. And you can make so many fun little ideas from the watermelons. You really can. But I would fill the watermelon with all kinds of fruit. And we're going to be using several different things today in this nice little watermelon. So yeah, it's just going to be little holes like that all the way through, all the way down until you have a nice bowl of watermelon. So I will stop my video and I will continue to do this for a little while, because this is a bigger size. I mean, it's a medium size little round watermelon. And I'll stop it for you to see that I'll be doing all that for a few minutes, and then I'll pop back on when I've completely done all of it with a nice bowl of watermelon. So I'll catch you in a few. Okay, once again, I'm back to show you that I have taken most all of the watermelon out of the watermelon. Now it looks like this. There's a lot of juice in a watermelon, so I usually just take it over to the sink, rinse it all out very well, and then pat the inside with a paper towel. Now before we go any farther, we need to kind of pretty up the watermelon. So I'm going to take the smaller knife and I just kind of run it along the edge here to get rid of that layer, so that it comes down a little closer here to what I'm after. All that out of there. And then it's up to you as to the design that you want to put on the edge. I have done a humped design before. I've done the zigzag design before. I think today I'm going to go ahead with the zigzag, and to do that, you're going to start at one end of the watermelon, one end of it, And then you're just going to go on an angle and get that piece out. Out here. And throw that away. So that the next one coming along is going to be like this. So you're going to be doing little triangles. So that's what it's going to be looking like. You can go as deep as you want, but not too deep, because you are going to be putting a lot more fruit into this. We have to put the watermelon balls that are in this little bowl. They're going to go back in, but I'm also going to add some other things to this. I recommend using a small paring knife to do this, rather than just a large knife. You don't want a real large one to do this. And that's going to be your little design that's coming along like this. So again, we're going to, let's see here. It has been a little while since I've done one of these. It really has. Got to get it started with my triangle. However you want to do it on the side here. Just giving it the nice little edge effect here. I left a good almost 3 inches up here on the handle, because once I start doing the same design up there, you want it to be able to have plenty of handle. You're not going to be picking this up by the handle at all. It will break, and then your nice hard work will be all for naught. So you definitely have to pick the whole thing up when you're transporting it. These things make great summertime party attractions. They really do. They're so fun to make. Again, you just kind of come with your smaller knife. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. Does not have to be perfect. But there's the nice little edges that we're going to start with right there. The top part, I'm pretty sure I'm going to start with this one of the serrated knife instead. And again, we just want to make the little indentations, which I might be able to. Yeah. You have to be careful up here because you have to hold it because you don't want to break the handle. And sometimes they do. Just go in about 1/2 inch. Not very far. They're so decorative when you take to any party, any little pool party, backyard barbecue party. They're real fun. Everybody gets a big kick out of them. And I said, the sky's the limit on creativity. I've seen some that are ships. I've seen some that are the baby cradle, you know, that this would be the little cradle, and they put a little baby in there of like for a baby shower, announcing that they're gonna have a baby. And I didn't do all of that when I had the christening party for my kids, but I did like to make these. They were fun. Fun to make. Again, at the very top, you just want to be kind of careful, not hit your finger, like what I just did. to remove all those pieces. So I said get a small little serrated knife to do this part. Would work better than your paring knife. And once you have your design, then we can start adding some other things to this. We're into 3-digit temperatures this week, so I definitely wanted to stay indoors. I did get up this morning and do all of my yard work of doing the mowing, weed eating, all of that before it got way too hot. And then I come in and I just kind of shut down the house. I close up the drapes and I turn on my AC and get it going good. Dogs really liked that today because I turned it up pretty high. Got it all nice and cooled off. For these record heat temperatures, I guess it's all across the United States as far as the western part of the United States. Eastern states are getting a lot of rain, which is okay on some parts, but not on some other. When it comes to flooding and different things, then that's a little bit too much water, isn't it? But this heat down here, and I wanted to make sure all of my plants, trees, everything were well watered before this afternoon when the heat comes on. Just a few more here. Getting this top part. Like I said, you have to kind of be careful up here at the top or it will break. Even the thickest width of what you do, it still can break if you're not careful. Made me some coffee a little bit ago, very much like my mother on that. On a very hot day, she would always ask for a cup of coffee. And to tell you the truth, I don't drink coffee anymore, but every now and then I do. And today was one of them that I wanted to have some nice coffee. Okay, like I said, it does not have to be perfect. But that is the gist of it right there, that you're going to be doing that. Now, we're not going to add this in just yet. We're going to take some other ingredients. So the next one that we're going to take, because watermelon is a melon, now we need some more melons. So I'm going to take a cantaloupe, and I'm going to cut the cantaloupe in half. And basically with the cantaloupe, you want to take out the insides of the seed part. Take all that out with a big spoon. It'll just come right out. Put that into a bowl. You don't need any of that. This one smells really good. Really, really does smell good. When I was a kid, I used to love cantaloupe. Got kind of hooked on it in the mornings. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing with a honeydew melon. These are the honeydew melons. Take it and cut it right down the middle. This is my favorite of all melons, is the honeydew melon. It really is. That with a little lemon of a wedge of a honeydew melon. Take out the middle. Comes right out with a spoon. Just take it right out. Peel all that out. They have a lot of juice in them also. Summertime fruit is so delicious. And why not jazz it up a little bit and make this wonderful little basket of fruit? And that's what I'm doing today. Okay, so same thing applies with this, that I'm going to take the melon peeler and I'm just going to come along. These have little holes in them so that the juice does come out of it when you're doing it. And I'm just going to come along and put these all in a bowl. Same thing with the cantaloupe. Just come and make all kinds of little balls, because that's what they're going to be. Balls. You can find these at grocery stores, Walmart, anywhere where there's the baking aisle of utensils and different things. That's where you're going to find these. So again, I will pop back on when I get those all in a nice bowl and continue with this little fun project this morning. I'll be right back. Okay, moving right along again. Now I have another whole bowl full of the cantaloupe and the honeydew melon. I didn't use all of it. I'm going to save half of one of the halves of each one. And now we're going to take some strawberries. Nice little strawberries I have washed. And we're going to take the tops off of them and then we're going to slice them right down the middle. Take those tops off and slice them down the middle. According to the news last night when I was watching it, get prepared everyone, because strawberries are one on the list that's going to skyrocket in price. And so if you want your strawberries, you better stock up on a few, because that's what the news said. They're going to go up in price. Along with several other things like gas prices and everything else. Everything's just kind of going up in price. These I've had in the refrigerator for just a couple of days. Strawberries nowadays, they just don't seem to last as long as what they used to. So you do have to eat them up pretty fast. And I will with my fruit salad. I really will. This will be nice for me all weekend, that I can enjoy a nice little dish of fruit from my watermelon basket that I'm preparing. Just kind of want bite sizes on this. I love my little knife. I have two of them that I've had for many years, and I really like them with the little serrated edge, and they can get in places that other knives can't. Okay, so that's the strawberries. Then we're going to take kiwi. Take some kiwi. Take the peeling off of the kiwi. If you don't like kiwi, leave it out. But I find it to be very colorful for my little basket. I really do. And then we're just going to slice the kiwi very thin. I only bought two of the kiwi. They too had gone up in price, so I didn't get as many as what I would have liked. It's kind of like the lemons now that are, oh my gosh, 50-some cents a piece, not per pound, a piece. So when I make my homemade lemonade, I really kind of ration who drinks it and where it goes, because lemons are so costly now. This is a nice little kiwi here. Very fresh and nice. Don't have to be real perfect on it, it's okay. Okay, so that's the kiwi, and that is the strawberries. And why I wanted to show you on saving some of the watermelon was that I'm going to take some of this watermelon I want the long strips of it is what I'm after. Go ahead and cut off the rind of it. This is where you can make some pretty little designs. Get this just a little thinner here. Don't need it quite that thick. And you can take whatever you have, little cookie cutters. I have 2 little stars here that I'm going to place it down in here and get the little stars. This, like I said, would have been a really fun idea right at 4th of July, but I had other things that I was making and doing for 4th of July, so I didn't put this together, but I'm sure everybody would have liked it if I had brought this. Don't worry about if you can't get a big one out of it. Use what you have. Just take what you have. If I had bought the long oblong watermelon, probably would have gotten more pieces out of this. You just want to stick it in there and get rid of that rind. Maybe have a good size piece one in there. Or not, you can chop it off. Chop it off. Hey, I can make 2 out of this. See, that's simple. You can also do this with, and that's why I saved it. Clean up my juices a little bit here. With the honeydew melon or the cantaloupe. And once I get them on here, you will see how fun they look on this. Don't know if I can get it with this one. Might be still too little. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get the whole thing. Nope. Not quite getting the whole thing of it, but that's okay. Still is a star. Still is a pretty star. All this you can save and put in your bowl for later when you want to eat it. Then you can. Have all that nice melon left over for eating. You don't want really any of it to go to waste, and it won't be. Doesn't matter to me what it looks like. You know, I know what it tastes like. And they're all very good. Very, very good. Get a little star out of this one too. This is, like I said, a project if you wanted to do with your kids, if you have kids around, or in my case, grandkids, and they really like it. There's the colorful stars. Colorful, colorful stars. Okay. So now we have that part of it. Then you're going to take And I usually take, like I said, you want this dry inside of your watermelon basket. So just take some paper towels and kind of dry that out. Then I like grapes in mine. I really do. So we're gonna take some grapes. Just take them right off of the stem here. Throw them in a bowl. The more color you have in these baskets, the better, because you want that color to make it look real festive and nice. You really do. I washed my grapes. I've washed pretty much everything. If there's a grape you don't care for, take it out. And depending on how much of everything you want kind of equal amounts in your basket of what you're making. So that's what we're going to do, kind of equal amounts. Don't have to use all of them. That's a good fair amount. And then I have some blackberries that I just had in the refrigerator that I like. I'll go ahead and give these a pat with a paper towel too to get any moisture out of there. Okay, now comes the fun part of putting it all in the watermelon basket. So again, you want to just take equal amounts. You can start with your watermelon, have the circles. Then you can add some of these in here. And some grapes. It fills up pretty fast. It really does once you get going on it. It's all kind of around. Kind of works better just take your hands and do it. Isn't that looking good? Get this little kiwi down in here. Kind of hid. Kind of hid my kiwi, didn't I? Just stick it in there. Get the blueberries going. Lots of little blueberries. Some more grapes. Some more of the honeydew. Honeydew, honeydew. Strawberries. Another kiwi down there. And then you can take these pretty little guys and set them in here all along, wherever you'd like. Wherever you would like. Maybe a few more little grapes up here. Add your blueberries where everybody can see them, because they get kind of buried every now and then. You can take one or two of these strawberries to put on top. Let me get another one here. Don't like that one. There we go. And we're going to set this on a real pretty platter. Here. Clean up my mess. Clean as you go, clean as you go. It's right there. Set this down. And that is our nice little watermelon basket. I went out in my greenhouse and I have both peppermint and I have spearmint. And so I'm gonna just take a couple of these. You can place them on top if you like, or down on your tray, whichever you prefer. And that is our summertime watermelon basket, which is a fruit basket because you've filled it with all kinds of things. You can add blackberries in there, which I would have if I had had them this morning, but I didn't want to get out in the 103 to go to the grocery store just for blackberries. But the blueberries are in there for a lot more color. And I hope you've enjoyed my little video showing how easy it is. Make a great big long one. You can also do the same effect with a pineapple, that you would take a regular pineapple and cut it right down the middle, even with the leaves on it, cut it right down the middle, hollow it out, take the pineapple out of there, and again, fill it with all kinds of fruit, and it looks gorgeous too. I've done that a couple of times too. But this is my summertime fruit basket from my kitchen to yours. I hope you've enjoyed my little video this morning. I'll catch you next time on Cooking with Carol Diane. Bye-bye now.